There are many who are insubordinate, empty talkers, and deceivers. They profess to know God, but they deny Him by their works. It is Sunday, the 9th day of July, 2023, and it's time to close off this week with our devotional thought for today, entitled A Religious Problem, and it's being read from the book Truth for Life by pastor and author Alistair Begg. Today's devotional thought is entitled once again A Religious Problem, and the verse today, Titus chapter 1, verses 10 and 16. There are many who are insubordinate, empty talkers, and deceivers. They profess to know God, but they deny Him by their works. That's Titus chapter 1, verse 10 and verse 16. Alistair Begg writes, "Sometimes our greatest problems come from within the church, not outside it. Such was the case in Crete, where Paul had left Titus to place the churches on solid foundations with godly leadership." Titus chapter 1, verse 5. Paul's primary concern in his letter to Titus was not the rampant atheism, agnosticism, cynicism, or humanism that was present in the surrounding culture. A careful reading of Titus, and indeed of church history, indicates that the greatest threat to the church emerges from people inside the church who claim to know the Lord but deceive both themselves and others. Paul describes some people within the church as those who profess to know God, but they deny Him by their works. They have a creed, but their conduct does not match it. They could say the right words, but there was no fruit to be seen in their lives. Cretans as a whole had a reputation of being liars, evil beasts, and lazy gluttons, according to Titus chapter 1, verse 12. And the problem appears to have been that several who professed faith within the Cretan church and who had some influence over others looked no different than the surrounding culture. And when professing believers have a lot of God talk, but very little godly living, their behavior not only matches that of the society outside, but undermines the witness of the church to the society outside. A church can be a dangerous place. If we're not careful, churches can provide opportunities for people to make a few superficial changes while continuing to live just the same as anyone around them. They may have believed that they have given their lives to Christ, but in fact, they are not willing to accept His lordship over any area of their lives where change would be socially costly. In Crete, perhaps, it should have been truth-telling, working hard, and moderation with food that would have set the church apart. For us, perhaps, it will be not making an idol of our children's education, eschewing materialism, and refuse to treat politics as a solution to everything. We can easily go from being irreligious to being religious without actually being transformed by God's grace. The danger is that religion itself may actually be what keeps someone from fully embracing the truth about Jesus. We ought to ask ourselves, do my works give credence to my profession of faith in Christ, or are they indistinguishable from those of my neighbors who make no claim to be Christians? What is the antidote to such empty religiosity? It is to recognize that true Christianity not only gives us a new creed, but will also change our conduct. And it is to understand that our lives are transformed from the inside out rather than outside in, not necessarily all at once, but certainly in a way that, over time, cannot be mistaken. It is as we look at God's mercy in Christ that we are moved to offer our lives in worship. Romans chapter 12, verse 1. And that concludes the reading of our devotional thought for this 9th day of July, 2023. Clive Welsh encouraging you to continue reading through the Word in a year And your assignment today is the book of Obadiah, also the book of Acts, chapter 8, verses 1 through 25. And may the Lord bless you and give you a great day.